What's up, everybody? We are back on George Reviews. I'm the 80s Transformers fan, and today on George Reviews, I'll be taking a look at G.I. Joe Classified Series Croc Master and Fiona. This is was a deluxe package. He is designated as number 38. You can see Croc Master in the large window package. He comes with a lot of accessories and one gigantic croc. I'm very excited for this figure. I picked it up off of b.a.t.toystore.com. I think it was, maybe Target.com. But I got it in the mail about a month ago, and I've been wanting to get this thing open, and we are going to check it out. But as we take a look at the box, there's some artwork for Croc Master on the front and sides of the box, and the back of the box has the standard G.I. Joe collage of characters from Cobra to the Joes to Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow fighting up top, and what looks like the Hard Master in the center. We get some vehicles down at the bottom. Hopefully these vehicles are coming. We know the His tank is coming. So without further ado, we're going to take Croc Master down and do my whole unboxing thing. Alright, if you've never seen my channel, I love to unbox on camera so we can share the experience and enjoy the toy. It's nothing like getting a new toy and just cracking it open. Here is Croc Master in half a clamshell. The inner box has the Cobra logo, nothing more in there. I think the inside is made to be like a little display stand like that. Yeah, never paid attention to that before. Nothing further inside the box. We get, believed to be a warning label. Sometimes these things aren't warning labels, but so used to saying it. Yep, warning, choking hazard right there. Don't choke on this paper. Or maybe it's the toy you don't want to choke on the accessory. So I'm going to get this guy all unclammed and come right back. All right, I popped the ties so I can continue this unboxing presentation that I like to do. Croc Master is not tied in. At least I don't think. I didn't see any on him. Just going to pop him out. And now I see why he wasn't tied in. Jeez. Get him out of this plastic stasis. It's a good looking figure already in the package. It looks fantastic. And I'm going to go for Fiona. And you can see where it's cut up and there's a ton of articulation. This isn't just a statue side piece. This is a fully functioning action figure. I can see that already. And then he has a ton of accessories. We've got the baby gators. Albino baby gator. We got the crack that whip. We got the chain. We got the knife. That's not a knife. Got some type of revolver. Like these Joe's weapons are like, well, most of these things, I don't know a lot of guns, but they look like made up weapons that look similar to real weapons. I've never seen this type of revolver. And we got like this hook thing for picking up stuff and stuff like whatever this thing is. Alright, let's take a look at Croc Master, shall we? Counting Fiona, he comes with 8 accessories. And I think all of his accessories are necessary. No packed-in junk here. I had Croc Master as a kid. I used to love all the G.I. Joe, Cobra people that came with animals, Snake Eyes, Spirit, Shipwreck. Just loved it. But as a kid, his crocodile Fiona was so undersized, but it was like as big as they could get it back then and shoehorn it in as an accessory. So it was always pretty cool. I don't remember much about this guy's personality, the character, other than he was like the master of crocs. But I thought the design was pretty cool. Speaking of design, let's take a look at his face. He has on like this leathery mask thing with red eyes and this breathing apparatus in his face that carries around to his back. He's wearing a molded in crocodile shirt with a Cobra emblem right here on his chest. He has a little bit lighter green paint on top of the green plastic that is his chest. Coming down to his belt, this is done very nicely. It's a nice shiny silver with a few different paint apps on it that are done well. He has the crocodile eye right here. It's painted very well. Some more crocodile pattern right here coming down to his crotch. His gauntlets, I love this. There are They are a separate plastic. This is a nice silvery plastic. I love when they use paint over plastic any day, so you never have to worry about it scraping off. And then on this side, this gauntlet, and they both move around, both the gauntlets. This gauntlet right here is crocodile skin, pattern green plastic. It is nice. His hands and gloves are black plastic. That is very cool. The gun holster has a crocodile skin pattern on it ever so slightly, and it is a separate tan plastic. His boots are crocodile skin. They're separate green plastic. The same green plastic is used throughout the figure. And this knife sheath pouch down here is the same. It can move around. It floats around. It's a separate piece. I love that it is a separate piece. It is awesome. And again, he has the crocodile molding and patterns on it. Why did they make the joint black right there? I mean, what's with that? You know, that joint is black. I mean, you can hardly see it. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just like, well, what was the thought process behind that? Why not just make it green? But this is a very, on the back, the belt continues to the back. It has like the notches in it, the buckle right here, extra piece of the belt going through the slots right there. That is very cool. And you can see the crocodile pattern on his back. This is very, very nice. This figure looks awesome. And again, not the greatest of characters, but they made this figure look great. Taking a look at the breathing apparatus on his face. Croc's breathing apparatus and mask allows him to breathe underwater and in swamps, so I guess which is water as well. I don't know. Anyway, but it has a nice silver paint on it. The hose is removable. In fact, I believe the entire tank, oxygen tank or whatever, I don't even know what he brings. He might be on something. This is removable. I don't know if it's a two-piece. Don't want to break it. This may be removable, but I'm not going to give it a shot. But again, this part is removable, which is cool. Can't remember if it was removable in the vintage line or not. And I don't know if I got closer. You can see the stitching, detailing on the mask. And it's separate on the side like it's been damaged and repaired. And that is a nice touch. You can see his ears coming through the mask, which is awesome. So I'm going to move on to his articulation. Let me get this hose back off again. For this part, he can look up not very far at all. This is all he's getting, unless you use the abs. Then you can look up that far, which you can use the abs. You can look down this far naturally without using the ab crunch. His head 360, even though you shouldn't need that in a human. 360. His head rocks side to side, which is very good. Really like the design in the arms. You can see the bicep has veins in it. The tricep looks good. Forearms, you can see the muscles right here in the forearms. This guy looks great. Very good. Coming to his shoulders, his arms up this far. It's probably going to be the same articulation on all the Joes. 360 at the shoulder. He has the hinge at the shoulder right there. You can get his arms up this far. Get his arms up that far. Bicep swivel looks to be the same bicep that we've seen before. You can see the pins in this figure right here. Double elbow bend. Coming to his wrist 360. He has the hinge in the wrist, which is nice. And he has both his fingers or hands are kind of like trigger hands. Yeah, they're pretty much identical reverse hands. Ab crunch right here. You can look back that far. We'll utilize that just a bit. Look down that far, which is a lot. Waist, get 360 out of that. Now I like these figures because they don't get a lot of kick to the back. But to the front, let me get his leg up this far. And out to the side this far. You can see the little ball hinge in there, allowing that. And to the back, like the way the butts are sculpted on here, you can't really come back. So that's all you can get to the back. He has an upper thigh swivel. I'm going to use this leg because I want to move the pouch around. 360 out of that. Double hinge knee. A lot of range of motion out of that. Let's see if he has the boot. Has the boot cut right there. The front to back. It's kind of stiff, but it does go front to back and rocker to the side at the ankles. Then they have the drop down legs for extra articulation right there. So man, this figure is very nice. Very, very nice. Alright, let's take a closer look at Croc Master's accessories. We are going to start with the gun and knife. The gun is a revolver. It's basically a straight black plastic, no paint apps on there. I think I recognize this gun. I believe it's a 38 Magnum, not really sure. Then he has just a standard like Bowie knife. It is a gray plastic with a little bit of green paint app on it, which is a nice touch that they hit it with a little something. Then he comes with the whip accessory and the hook. The whip is a straight black plastic with hit with that same little bit of green that seems to be everywhere. And the hook is the same gray plastic as the knife and the chain. And it has no paint apps on it. All these weapons fit snugly into Croc Master's hand without any problem or any stress. His hand seems to be a little bit looser than the first edition of Snake Eyes and Duke. Or should I say more loose? Alright, next up is the chain, but I think it makes more sense to take a look at Fiona and then come back to the chain. Let's take a look at the Croc herself. And the paint is done very, very well on this figure. I mean, and it is a full figure. This is not just a thrown in lump of plastic like the vintage figure. You can see all this detailing all over the Croc. Looks fantastic all the way down to the tail. And it is a bendy tail. And I know anyone knows because we see these holes and we've all had bendy figures all our lives. So the tail will bend when we get to that. The head of Fiona is fantastic. Look at the sculpted in detail. Let's take a look at the eyes. She has that little beady eye. You can see the slit to her eye. On both sides, the paint is done pretty well. The paint on the teeth look good. This thing looks fantastic. Let's get the mouth open. The mouth articulates, of course. Get the mouth open. You got some pinkish paint right here. The inner mouth right here is plastic. There's paint on the roof and paint at the bottom right here. This thing looks gorgeous. Loving this thing. Wow. More articulation. She articulates at the head right there. You get a full 360. I believe it's on a ball joint, so you can pop it out if you wanted to. I don't know why they did that, but you can. Right back on there. And then at the, what is this, the ab crunch. It has an ab crunch that moves up and down, which is fantastic. Coming to the shoulders 360 both sides, and there's a hinge. You get the arms up and down, but we don't have a real elbow hinge, which is kind of weird because they went out of the way on this figure to me. And the paws or the hands move, and they are little webbed hands and fingers, which look pretty cool. Little pattern on that. They didn't spare any detail. Coming back to the hind leg, same thing here. No elbow or knee bend or whatever that is on the crocodile's anatomy. Same thing with the foot. We got ankle movement front to back, and it spins in the 360 with a nice little pattern and some webbing on there. Looks great. Looks great. I'm assuming the same thing on the side. And keep going from there. The tail. I think this is on a ball joint too. Let's see if I can pop it out. Yep. Bam. Ball joint. And you get all type of motion out of that. And then the hind part, again, I said it's a bendy figure. You know it's a bendy figure. You can get it to bend and hold a couple positions so it can slash, which is awesome. You think they would have just left it a stiff piece of plastic, but they put that little extra in there, and I love that. That is very cool. Now, back to the collar, the chain and collar accessory, and I believe it just slides on. I guess sliding over might damage the paint, but that's what I did. And here we go, Croc Master holding the chain, stopping Fiona from attacking Cobra Commander, something like that. I mean, this set looks awesome. And again, like I said, it would have been so much better if the chain could articulate, because if you try to get him closer and hold the chain, it's basically like pushing him back. I mean, you can make stuff work, but while pliable, it's not pliable enough to stay. Again, it's going to like push him down, so you got to kind of stand him at chain's length to kind of stand up and hold her. But let's move them back and take a look at the last two accessories, which are the baby Crocs. I'll start with the albino Croc, and these things are done well. Let's see if we can get them in. The albino, all right, this one has painted, oh yeah, we can see it now. It has red eyes with black pupils, some painted teeth, and a pink snout on this one right here. Way to get those paint apps on that Hasbro. It looks very nice. And the green one has the lighter green underbelly, the painted on white teeth, and also has yellow eyes and black pupils painted on, and painted very well for such a tiny figure. And they don't do anything. They're just like a little soft plastic. You can bend them up a little bit. I'd be careful not to break the tails off of these guys, bend them around. But alright, let's give Croc Master and Fiona the size up and run down. Here he is with fellow deluxe figure Breaker. Here he is next to Masters of the Universe Snake Man, Sly from Super 7's Thundercats, Titans Return Skull Cruncher, Transformers Generation 1 Skull Cruncher, because they're alligators. Last but not least, G.I. Joe Classified Cobra Commander. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up without being long-winded. This is my favorite G.I. Joe Classified figure so far. I know it's kind of cheating because it comes with all the extra stuff, but I opened up a lot of mine, but he looked fantastic in the box. He looked fantastic on the pre-order, and it is fantastic. Love the accessories, everything comes with. And if I had a wish list, I wish he would have came with some interchangeable hands to get a couple different poses out of that. Maybe a little bit of paint on the gun. And I think at one point in the G.I. Joe comics, he took off his mask. And he was like bald-headed. And I remember him fighting like Red October or something in the vintage Marvel comics. Something like that, if I do remember. That's just a wish list. But this is an awesome set. I highly recommend it if you're into the Joes and you haven't bought this one yet. I know I'm a little late to the party reviewing it, but man, this is an awesome figure. And with that, I want to thank you all for watching another episode of George Reviews. The reviews where every toy has a story.